Avatar Fire and Ash begins exactly where The Way of Water ends, with grief. Jack Sully and Neytiri still carrying the loss of their lost son. The entire family is weighed down by survival guilt. और पेंडोरा की वॉर अभी तक रुकी नहीं है. Rather, it has only expanded. On paper, this should be Avatar at its most emotionally intense chapter, but honestly, the film rarely commits fully to that emotional weight.
You cannot live like this, baby. In hate.
At its core, Fire and Ash wants to talk about reconstruction after war, not rebuilding lands or clans, but rebuilding people. In the broadest sense, this is a story about how individuals and cultures reshape themselves after devastating loss. Idea काफी strong है, but execution not so much. The film talks about grief more than it actually explores it. Pain is present but carefully controlled. और जब story trauma से driven हो, that emotional safety starts to feel like avoidance. The conflict with the RDA continues, but the most interesting addition is the Mengquan clan, also known as the Ash people. They are shaped by fire, scarcity, and survival. Their philosophy is hardened, practical, and emotionally distant. उनके लिए survival is not moral, rather it's necessary. Fire versus water, endurance versus adaptation. Conceptually, this contrast is strong, but film कभी भी इस conflict को fully ignite नहीं कर पाती है. The Ash people feels more like a thematic idea than a real destabilizing force. Visually, no one can deny that this film is absolutely stunning. The action is immersive, massive, and extremely polished. Pandora has never looked this detailed, चाहे वो ash-covered landscapes हो, fire-lit battles या textures that felt almost tangible. James Cameron is still operating at a level very few filmmakers can touch. But at this point, visual excellence feels expected but not surprising, and spectacle alone can't carry emotions forever. Narratively, Fire and Ash is very predictable. Major story beats announce themselves much earlier than they should. There is very little narrative risk या emotional surprise. Film में information बहुत है, lore, world building, setup, but a lot of it feels more like obligation and not momentum. Sometimes it feels less like a story unfolding and more like a franchisee moving pieces into place. Unlike The Way of Water, which justified its length through rhythm and discovery, Fire and Ash often feels long. Scenes linger without adding new insights. Emotional beats repeat itself without any deeper effect. And यहीं पे franchisee fatigue भी quietly creep in करता है, not because Pandora isn't interesting enough, because the storytelling refuses to tighten itself. Honestly, The Way of Water and Fire and Ash feels like they could have been a one long film. Their emotional arcs bleed into each other, themes overlap heavily, और इस वजह से Fire and Ash struggles to create a strong individual identity. It feels less like a bold new chapter and more like an extended middle act. Performance-wise, the emotional weight of the film still rests mainly on Sam Worthington and Zoe Saldana. Worthington plays Jack Sully with visible exhaustion, a leader driven more by responsibility than belief. It fits the character, but the restraint often borders on emotional flatness. Zoe Saldana brings intensity as Neytiri, especially in the moments of rage and grief. But once again, the scripts hold her back. You can feel deeper pain underneath, लेकिन फिल्म उस चीज को कभी fully explore ही नहीं करती है. Among the antagonists, Stephen Lang as Colonel Miles Quaritch continues to be one of the franchise's strongest elements. His physical menace and rigid conviction add urgency even when the character arc feels repetitive. The standout addition in this film is Varang, the Ash People leader played by Ona Chaplin. She brings a cold, controlled intensity, she values ideology over emotion, and she delivers a strong performance, but once again, underwritten. Overall, performances are solid, but they are constantly overshadowed by scale. अवतार में एक्टिंग को भी स्पेक्टेकल के साथ compete करना पड़ता है.
क्या बढ़िया था गुरु.
Now here's the most telling thing about Fire and Ash. You will probably forget the story details, you will forget many characters' decisions that they will take, but the visuals will stay with you. Fire-lit landscapes, ash-covered bodies, Pandora's sheer scale, and many other images linger करती हैं. And that actually raises a serious question that is Avatar still about storytelling, or has it fully become a visual experience first and narrative second? Overall, Avatar Fire and Ash is technically brilliant, conceptually ambitious, and emotionally restrained film. It does not fail, but it also doesn't take enough risk. अगर तुम Avatar world building and visuals के लिए देखते हो, then this one delivers. But if you are looking for emotional volatility, narrative surprise, or character-driven drama, then this chapter plays it way too safe. So, the real question is not whether Fire and Ash is good, it's whether Avatar as a franchise is still evolving or just expanding. इस पे हम किसी और वीडियो में बात करेंगे. So if you have watched the film, let me know in the comments that did the story stay with you, or was it just the visuals doing all the heavy lifting? And if you enjoy slow, honest conversations like this, you know what to do.